Hi everyone. Today is April 3rd, and we're talking a little bit about things that um, surprise people about our profession. And this is based on a conversation I had last week with some neighbors, and um, there's one person who works as an engineer, and they were describing procedures, protocols to test the safety of a turbine. And one of them was like throwing a certain sized animal at the turbine to see what it would do to damage it in the event that an animal does actually fly into it when it's attached to an airplane. And I was not familiar with that test. And so going around the table, we started reflecting a little bit, like what might be something surprising that we take for granted in our professions or our kind of our daily work. And so I guess I could say one thing that might be surprising, but it might be a bit sarcastic, is that despite teaching for 24 years, I don't actually have a crystal ball. I'm being sarcastic because when I start to speak with somebody online from another part of the world, and they have a whole like personal life experience and trying to describe what they're struggling with, and what they would like to do with the language, and what their expectations are from me or from lessons, or what they are willing to do. It does feel like kind of doing a lot of questioning to figure out what makes this person tick, and whether they're willing to do work, or do they just need confirmation bias? Are they just expecting to stay in their comfort zone, or are they willing to work if I give some suggestions? Because I sometimes tell them, like when I have conversations with my children, where of course my children want sugar and candy and cereal, yet I have to remind them it would be healthier for their body if they had fruits and vegetables. But in general, the children are like, I don't know, the vegetables are yuck. No, I don't want to eat the green vegetables. And I have a similar conversation with adults, where it's like, okay, that thing that feels uncomfortable, that you don't want to do, are you willing to do it, even if it tastes yucky? But are you willing to recognize that it might be beneficial? So actually, I don't see much difference between talking to children and talking to adults sometimes when we're looking at maybe a symptom and trying to diagnose what some underlying issue. And I'm trying to look at this from lots of different angles, but I think many people probably expect it just to be a very simple kind of let's practice the language and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but I don't have a crystal ball, so I'm trying to gather as much information as I can to try to figure out how to help someone, and also try to figure out if somebody can be helped, if they're willing to be helped or coached. It's challenging, and I think there's also a lot of skepticism where I might be suggesting some alternative ways to learn or practice something, might be kind of outside of the box, and some students from different cultures might really be used to a traditional, or whatever is called traditional, where there's a book, there's exercises, and the teacher decides everything, and the student doesn't really kind of contribute much in that discussion, where it's just kind of one-sided. And I do like working with students who can think for themselves, can express their needs, their wants, their desires in terms of what is it that they're trying to achieve through the language learning. Maybe not just focus on a symptom, but try to move beyond of like what transformation are they looking for, not just fixating on a problem or a challenge. But so to try to explain that within the first 5-10 minutes, it can be challenging for kind of trying to get results, but trying to see if somebody's willing to work for those results, or should I just kind of be and not really say much, and just okay, but whatever you think, if you can or you can't, you're right. I mean, based on the quote from Henry Ford. And so if I question that and invite that person to question it, that could mess with their kind of expectations or what they're willing to do. So I think there's a lot of human psychology involved in teaching and trying to encourage somebody to kind of try something different. If they want a different result, then I try to encourage them to look for a different alternative solution, because if they have tried everything and they still haven't gotten what they want, it's because there still is something they haven't tried, or they haven't been willing to try. But yeah, I suppose the overall what's surprising here is there's a lot of psychology that goes into the teaching and trying to figure out what's really going on. On the surface, there is the language. I mean, there's grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, things, but really there's more. There's much more depth to what's going on, and adults can be very complex because they have so much life experience, and children, young adults are still fresh. They're still new, so there's less life experience baggage to kind of look through. and to try to figure out what's going on. Yeah. Hola a todos. Hoy es el 3 de abril y hablamos un poco de algo sorprendente de nuestra profesión, y yo diría que conmigo lo que sorprende mucho a los alumnos cuando trabajamos en el primer encuentro es como intento de determinar un poco de como qué está pasando, qué les incomoda, y entonces intento diagnosticar y ver cómo puedo ayudar. Entonces hay varias preguntas para entender eso, y porque no tengo una bola de cristal, y yo creo que eso puede confundir ciertas personas con si es su primera vez para tomar una clase, para como si tienen unas expectativas de como qué es lo que necesitan, o están conscientes de lo que quieran, o es todo mi trabajo de como adivinar, pero sin darme mucho ayuda. Tal vez se sientan incómodas con preguntas para entender qué es lo que han hecho y que no ha funcionado. Entonces es como un diagnóstico, pero creo que no se dan cuenta de cómo tiene su utilidad de hacer esas preguntas, porque una persona tiene toda una historia y es muy compleja, y sobre todo a través de una pantalla, si no me dan mucho contexto, pues las soluciones pueden ser muy superficiales, y tal vez dura un día, o no sé si quieren una solución a largo plazo. Pero si no tengo esa como colaboración con el alumno, es difícil. ¿Sí? Eso es todo. Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui c'est le 3 avril et on parle un petit peu de quelque chose qui est surprenant pour notre profession. Et je dirais par exemple que je n'ai pas un boule en cristal s'il y a un nouveau stagiaire, et j'essaye de comprendre sa situation et ses difficultés et ce qu'ils veulent améliorer, ou quels sont ses besoins et ses objectifs, et qu'est-ce que c'est ce qu'ils cherchent. Donc j'ai besoin de poser ces questions pour voir si ça va marcher bien, et s'ils sont prêts s'ils sont prêts pour travailler, ou s'ils veulent juste une solution facile et sur la surface. Donc ce sont des choses que je crois que ça devrait arriver avant d'avoir un premier rencontre. commencer à trouver des solutions. Parce que si j'ai vraiment un minimum, au moins d'un minimum d'informations, c'est pas si facile d'aider quelqu'un et de voir s'ils sont prêts à travailler. Ouais, voilà. Hallo an alle, heute ist der 3. Tag in März und ich spreche ein bisschen darüber meine Arbeit und was ist etwas, das die Leute wisst nicht und es ist surprising und zum Beispiel ich kann sagen, dass die Psychologie es ist hilfreich für verstehen, was möchte ein Student oder eine Studentin und ich muss viele Fragen machen für besser verstehen und ich möchte wissen, diese Person arbeitet gerne oder nicht oder was glaubt diese Person, was macht ein Lehrer, was macht ein Student und es ist ein Moment für Arbeiten oder Lernen oder Studieren und ja, ich habe kein Crystal Ball und ich muss viele Fragen zu machen für Verstehen und ja, das ist alle für heute. Ciao a tutti, oggi è il giorno 3 e parliamo un po' di il lavoro e una cosa surprising è per esempio quando lavoro con un studente mi piace sapere molto del contesto, per esempio perché imparare, quale è la difficoltà e come posso aiutare e quali sono le aspettative. È un buon momento per lavorare o cosa posso fare e cosa va a fare questo studente perché non ho un crystal ball e devo fare molte domande per capire bene. Questo è tutto. Всем привет, сегодня третий день и мы говорим немного о работе и, например, что это, о какой когда мы говорим о работе, какие вещи surprising Это значит, что иногда, когда я начну урок, занятие с студентами, я должен спросить много, чтобы понимать лучше, что хочет, что делал раньше, что будет делать сейчас и после урока. И, человек это сложный и не простой, чтобы понимать, и если человек не хочет говорить и понимать об этом, это труднее мне смотреть, что хочет и что и как мы можем работать вместе. И да, так, это все на сегодня. Большое спасибо, пока.